Hello and good evening, Quarantine Clan. Cheers. I with my narrow victory last week, I went 2-4, keeping myself alive, and found myself looking at the league, being a little bit interested since I'm still in it. Started putting down some notes and kind of got to where I am tonight right now, and so I got these notes here, just kind of catching up on where we're at in the season, kind of how we got here, what everybody looks like, looking back at draft day a little bit, seeing kind of what picks worked out, what picks didn't, who's looking good, who's maybe not. I'm not going to do any power rankings, anything like that. I'm kind of just going to do a quick run through of kind of where every team's done through in the first 6 weeks, and then we're going to go from there. So hope you guys enjoy. I don't know if I'm going to repeat or do anything like this. I just thought if I was going to have these notes here, I'd share it with everybody. So, as a quick reminder, interleague play started last week. The bad guys division went 4-2 on us good guys. Me and last champs were the only ones that pulled out a victory there. The interleague play does go through from weeks 6 through weeks 8. So we've got this week and then the next week, and then we're back into interdivisional play. Quick update: Bad Guys divisions got a little bit more points. They've scored 90 more points on the season than the Good Guys. Long way to go. So we're pretty even there from a division standpoint. We'll start off with the Bad Guys division. First, we've got Sandwich. They're 5-0, 742.5 points scored. They're second highest in the league. He's been the most convincing and the most consistent team here. I go through the weeks scoring. He's 105, 132, 134, 130, 118 in week 5. Had Chase Claypool on his bench scoring 40.5 points, but I mean, you're probably not going to get that again. Anyway, but week 6, 123 points. So he's showing he can go big consistently. 132, 134, 130. He's made great pickups along the way, pulling the right levers. James Robinson, Tannehill, Chase Claypool. We'll see if Tannehill's a week start every week for him. He was drafted in the 18th round, was dropped by somebody. We'll get to that a little bit later, but one of the best picks in the draft was put back on the free agent list, and shame on me. I put a bid in, but it wasn't enough, and I should have known better. Big question mark here is Dak goes down, right? Highly invested in this Dallas offense is Grunt with Zeke and Cooper. So we'll see how the Red Rocket can do for him. He looked terrible on Monday night. Just terrible. So we'll see. Chubb gets hurt, but he's got Hunt right to back him up. So that's a bummer, but no big deal. Trading for Ertz, it kind of tickles me a little bit. You didn't give away a whole lot. Jarvis Landry's nothing great. He's just going to be serviceable. But the fact that you took the worst draft pick on draft day, I'm sorry, when I told you on draft day, and I still feel that way, Zach Ertz in the 3rd round was the worst pick in the draft. You took his garbage, Grant, and then he gets hurt. So I just think that's hilarious. DK Metcalf is awesome. Enough said on that part. Thielen's been carrying this team. He'll probably continue to carry this team. Kirk Cousins isn't good, but he has a connection with Adam Thielen, and they're going to be behind all the time this season. So he looks good. We'll see how this progresses going forward. Second in that division is the Chimps team, going 3-3. They scored 720.5 points. They're the 3rd highest scoring team in the league. Running down these scoring lists from week to week, 88.5 was an embarrassing loss in week 1 to Wyland. Had a close loss in week 2, but a quick reminder for everybody, if you didn't know this, I'm sure Bethel doesn't like to advertise this. He benched Russell Wilson in week 2 for Aaron Rodgers. He lost as a result of that. He could have gone 2-0, instead he went 1-1, and let Grant get a victory there. So shame on you, Bethel, for letting Grant go 5-0. Week 3, he had a big victory, 131.5. We scored 133, 118.5, 119.5. Basically, what I'm seeing here is he scores a lot of points consistently. Has the ability to go big. Had one down week, but I mean, Bethel's a formidable team, and he's probably been affected by injuries any more than anybody else in the league. I mean, aside from myself having the first draft pick go down, but with Saquon and Eckler out, it's devastating. But he bid $81 for Mike Davis, which is the highest bid in the league for any free agent, but it is, I would have paid my whole fab budget for Mike Davis right now. I would not be 2-4 if I had him. The reason Bethel has 3 victories in the first place is because he had paid $81 for Mike Davis. So one of the best moves that's happened in the league so far this year, in my opinion. So big shout out to you. I mean, another one reason for your success is you've got Russell Wilson and he's cooking, as everybody likes to say these days. 6th-round draft pick was amazing, and I'd like to point out, don't know if anybody else realizes this, but he was the 4th quarterback taken in the draft that day. With Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes being keepers, he's the 6th quarterback off the draft board. So shame on all of us. Kudos to you and the Chimps team. Yeah, Ronald Jones looking like Kimbo Slice out there, just beating the shit out of people. The Packers look like shit, but I mean, he looks like a real man out there running the football for the Bucs. So that's going to be a good asset going forward. It should be a good asset going forward. And a quick thing I noticed on your team, Bethel, you're holding on to Alshon Jeffrey, your 15th round draft pick. You decided to dump James Washington at some point, your 16th round draft pick, in lieu of keeping Alshon Jeffrey for some reason. And now James Washington, I don't know. I think he looks pretty good. I don't know what his keeper value is going to be, but I don't know. Good luck with Alshon Jeffrey when he comes back. Third in this division is Scribe going 3-3, 669.5 points. He's the 4th highest scoring team in the league. As you'll notice, the 1st, 2nd, and 4th, 1st, 3rd, and 4th highest scoring teams in the league are from this bad guys division. So the good guys got some catching up to do. Going down these weekly point totals, 108, 117.5, 130 points, but like you should have won that week. Shame on you for not starting the extremely talented Rex Burkhead, scoring 28.5 points that week, starting Josh Kelly. I don't know what you were really thinking there, but you won't make that mistake again, I guess. Week 4, 141.5 points, 82 points, and 91 points. So he's shown the consistency. He's shown the ability to go big with 130 and 141.5 points, but he's also shit the bed a couple times. So a little bit of inconsistency there. But I mean, overall, he's got a pretty decent squad here. Something that I enjoy doing on a weekly basis is going back and taking a look if he made the right decision on a quarterback. I've kind of got that decision now. Carson Wentz sucks, so I'm really not wondering who I'm going to play between him and Matt Ryan. But I mean, Tom Brady and Josh Allen. Josh Allen's been amazing. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, Tom Brady is Tom Brady, and he's got extremely talented weapons on that offense. So I did the numbers. He's been successful 3 times. He's failed twice, and once was neutral, both scoring 16 points. So he is better than a coin flip right now. We'll see how that is going forward. Mike Evans and his 1-yard touchdowns. I think he's done it 3 times this year, maybe 4. I don't know, but extremely infuriating, I'm sure. But touchdown's a touchdown. I've told him multiple times I love T. Higgins. I think he's extremely talented, and it's a great pickup going forward. Same old Julio on this team. Boom or bust. Always hurt. Same old thing. I managed to skirt by with Julio going big last week. But I mean, one of the big notes that I made when going through this was I have never seen a team go 0 running back strategy draft day. And Scribe's done the closest thing I've seen to it. He took Keenan Allen, Julio, and Mike Evans, and he dropped David Johnson in there. But I mean, really, when you're looking at zero running back strategy, you're looking for high volume guys that are just going to consistently kind of be there. And then you want that boomer bust kind of guys if somebody gets hurt, Alexander Madison, Cook's hurt. I mean, I know he didn't put out last week, 2.5 points or some shit like that. So that sucked. But I mean, he could be good going forward. You got Antonio Gibson there. So, I mean, he's kind of working that 0 running back strategy. And right now, I mean, it looks like it could work out. So we'll see. A couple draft day notices. Corey Davis in the 17th round was a good pick. Dallas Goedert in the 15th was a good pick. I know he's not on your team anymore, but I mean, it was a pretty good value that day. And Scribe now has James Washington, that 16th round draft pick that Bethel decided to drop instead of Alshon Jeffrey. 4th in that division is going to be Wolf at 3-3, scoring 662 points. Going down the list of point totals here: 91.5, 67, 118.5, 93.5, 101, and 190.5. So Wolves doesn't have any consistency here. He did put up a monster week, but I mean, kind of like Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes, like Derrick Henry can go nuclear and win anybody a week. He's kind of special in that way. Not many people can do that. So we'll see. We'll see what he's got going forward. But man, T.Y. Hilton's absolutely dumpsville at this point. I couldn't believe these stat lines: 7, 3.5, 6.5, 3.5, 9, and 1.5. I don't think there's a touchdown in there. He's been terrible. And you've started him every week 1 through 5. And then finally in week 6, I will give you a shout out here. You finally benched him and learned your lesson and put Justin Jefferson in, and he went for 36.5. So nice work there. Speaking of Justin Jefferson, 10th round draft pick. I mean, we gave you a lot of shit draft day, Wolf, but like Justin Jefferson in the 10th Laviska Shenault in the 15th, McKinnon in the 11th. I mean, Mostert's going on the IR, so who knows? I mean, it looks pretty good there, in my opinion. So at the fifth in this division, it's Turds going 3-3 at 644. 104 points, 104 points, 94 points, 119, 120, 102. I mean, nothing huge here. Lamar Jackson's regressed back to the mean, which we kind of figured he would have. His season was historic last year, but he's also got the option to just go nuclear at any point. So, I mean, you've got Lamar Jackson on your team. You always have a chance to win. I see your QB in the lineup in week 7 as Andy Dalton. We'll see how that plays out. I know you're really excited about Blake Jarwin. Sorry for him going down. Mark Ingram in the 3rd was really kind of a shitty pick, in my opinion, but it's, at the time, who knows? But he's getting hurt now in that 3-headed monster. I mean, you made the best draft day pick in Ryan Tannehill in the last round, the 18th round, and then you dropped him. So kind of sucks for you. 6th in this division is going to be Weiland at 105. Lowest scoring team in the league at 593 points. I don't even need to go through this. He scored 131 one week, and he's still the lowest team. So, I mean, it just shows you that week to week basis, he's putting up, 90, 100, 73, 108, so he could have won in week 5. He decided to play Gardner Minshew instead of Fitzmagic, and he lost as a result. And the big story with this guy is trades. I mean, I've got all the trades written down here. I don't know if everybody keeps up with it. I kind of don't. But, I mean, there's 4 trades so far in the league, and everyone's involved Weiland. And he's 1 of 5. So, I don't know. We'll see. And I said it on draft day, and I've already talked about this, so I'm going to beat this into the ground. Zach Ertz was the worst pick in the draft. But kudos to you for shoveling your shit over to Grant and getting at least $1 bill back. So, nice work there. And fuck you, Grant. So, nice work. Drafting 2 in the 18th round could have been a great draft pick here. You dumped him, so he's no longer going to be that keeper value. He could be amazing. He could suck. We'll see. We'll move on to the good guys division. I don't know if I'm going to get through this, so I'm going to have to hurry up. So, first in the division is Blash at 4-2. He's the second highest scoring point team in the league. And he could have taken down Grant in week 6 if he would have fucking started A.J. Brown. He's a fucking idiot. Dak in the 5th was a great pick, but obviously everybody knows he's hurt. Props to you, though, for backing him up with Big Ben, because that was another great pick in the 16th round. So Robbie Anderson in the 12th round was a great pick. Josh Jacobs fell to you in the 9th pick. I mean, as Barkley, Michael Thomas, Zeke, Dalvin Cook, CEH, Derrick Henry, and Devontae Adams, all the owners, these are the people picked right in front of him. I think we would all kind of want Josh Jacobs instead of the people we got, except for maybe Derrick Henry and Devontae Adams. But, I mean, so that was a great pick in the 9th, kind of fell into your lap. You bought Justin Jackson for $55, so we'll see how that works out in the coming weeks. But, I mean, Blatch has looked great so far. All right, consistently putting up high numbers. We'll see how that goes going forward. Second in this division is the Last Champ at 4-2. They scored 634 points. I mean, week 6, he should have lost, scoring 75 points and getting a victory. So, I mean, here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at, this is the official team smoke and mirror so far. Aaron Jones is quite possibly the top 3 keeper of all time in this league so far. Is going to win you some games going forward. But aside from that, I'm questioning how you got to 4-2. And then I take a look at it. I'm saying you won scoring 75 points and you won scoring 105 points. You scored 86 points and 92.5 in other weeks. I mean, you should be 2-4 right now, but you managed to squeak out a couple of victories. So, I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and that's the way the dice roll, and, good for you. So we'll see how that goes go forward. I mean, CeeDee Lamb was a great pick in the 11th round. Andy Dalton, but again, you're a part of that Dallas offense now where it's kind of a question mark. Lev Bell was an obvious disappointment. We're going to see how that plays out with CEH. He played for his life, 160-plus rushing yards. I should have had a touchdown. That fucking sucked, but at least I got the victory. But we'll see how that plays out. Allaire's the more talented back in my opinion. Lev Bell looks like shit. So we'll see. I could be totally wrong. I hope I'm not. And the jury's a little bit out on, and I don't want to beat this, but the jury's still out on Kyler Murray. You drafted him first in our draft. And in the 4th round, I love him to death, and he has great value. He could be the number 1 quarterback, but what we're going to see if you draft him as the number 1 quarterback in the league, and that's what you're basically asking him to do, and right now he's not. So we'll see how that can finish. Third in this division is going to be BBC going 3-3, scoring 649.5 points. When we go through, I mean, he got bombed by Wolf in week 6, but he's getting kind of consistent over week, but he's never put up that really big week. You don't see the 130s, 140s that you see other teams putting up right now. His highest score is 128 and a half. So great pick here. Cam Newton in the 14th round. Excellent value there. We'll see. He's kind of been on and off, but I mean, we'll see how that plays out. But wide receivers are a big disappointment on this team. When you look at this, you got Hollywood Brown, Tyler Boyd, Michael Gallup. I mean, all three extremely disappointing right now. And then you had an injury to Kenny Galladay. He's back now, but we're going to see with some deficiencies here with Dalvin Cook on the sideline. You're going to really need all of your players to play at their maximum ability every week until you at least get Dalvin Cook back. So we'll see there. Also, by the way, I wanted a quick note. Biggest point differential here. You've scored 649 points. You've had 762 points scored against you. What is that? 115, 100, whatever. 100, it's a lot. You're getting a lot of points scored against you. Sorry about that. That's bad luck there. Fourth in this division is going to be about bye week, going 2-4, 668.5 points scored. When you go here, you've had one huge week, and then we see a split of pretty good games and then not so good games. You know, you're fairly consistent week to week, and you've shown the ability to go big one week, but we'll see what that plays out. Is Todd Gurley really good? Because he's kind of looked good, but when I break down the numbers, he's averaging 100. He's averaging 13.5 points per game. He's 19th among running backs on an average per game basis, and he feels like he's looked good. So like as the 19th and as your second round draft pick, like doesn't feel good. But a fifth in this division is going to be the Beans team, going 2-4, 625.5 points scored, which is the third lowest in the league. Real inconsistency here. I haven't gone 124.5 is my highest point total in the year. My number one draft pick gets hurt. I trade for Matt Ryan. He immediately sucks. Le'Veon Bell's going to be playing for the Chiefs. James Conner didn't get hurt like I thought he would and traded him away. Miles Sanders is now hurt. I mean, the list goes on and on here. World's smallest violin being played. No real optimism here. Freeman for a $36 pickup looked like shit at the time because nobody even paid a $0 bid for him, but he looks pretty good right now. I'm hoping we might get Mike Williams. Justin Herbert looks great. So Tyler, you're not wrong. Every time you try and blast it, you're not going to get trade offers, but he looks like a good quarterback. So I want to get in that wide receiver game along with Scrap. Yeah, I mean, I took Wentz in the 8th round. It was a terrible pick, one of the worst in the drafts right now. It's kind of killing me. It's my Achilles heel. I took Ayuk in the 14th. Well, it wasn't bad. And Alvin Lazard for the 12th. It wasn't a bad pick, but overall, I didn't really have a whole lot of great value going into the draft. I didn't make a whole lot of bad decisions, but whatever. Sixth in this division is going to be the Jizz Whalers, going 2-4, 617.5 points scored. You run through the weekly list. This guy's just putting up 100 points a week. I mean, that's all there is. My note is average. That's what we see here. No potential to go big. But if Jizz's opponent decides to have a down week, then Jiz can manage a win. If he doesn't shit the bed, then if you don't shit the bed as playing this team, then you're going to be fine, is what it looks like, at least through 6 weeks. Stafford and Goff just are nothing special at the quarterback position. Mostert goes on the IR now. It's a nice kick in the nuts to him. What happened to Juju? I'd love to break down the numbers and see. I mean, I don't need to beat you over the head with this, Renee, but I traded you Juju at his peak, and he just has gone to shit ever since. He looks like the third best wide receiver on that team right now. Travis Fulgham, though, he looks like a wide receiver 1. So we'll see what comes of that going forward with Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson coming back in the near future. I'm going to try and wrap this up. I probably went over, but yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Let me know if you have any comments. I probably got a bunch of shit wrong, but good luck this week in week 7, and hope you all get victories this week, except for a pork sandwich, because you can go fuck yourself.